My name is Brent Hermanussen. I'm the Southern Rockies sales rep for G. Loomis, and it is my pleasure to be in Alaska hunting rainbow trout with mice with the guys from AvidMax. We're going to talk a little bit about the rods we chose to bring on this trip. We'll start out with the construction, basically what makes an NRX Plus an NRX. I think that starts with the resin. Compared to the old NRX, we used a new resin. It's the GL8 resin, and it's a nano alloy. So the main benefit of a nano alloy resin is that when you do have an impact, the bruise, let's call it, stays at the site of impact. It doesn't grow throughout the entire section. If you think about the molecules in the GL8 resin, basically it's like crumpled up printer paper. You punch it, it's not going to explode too bad. It's just kind of going to pack in there a little more. And that's kind of what happens with the resin on NRX Plus. If you hit it with split shot, hit it with dumbbell eyes, just packs in there. So there is a little bit of damage, but the damage doesn't spread as you continue to fish the rod. On this river, our two main methods will be throwing big wind-resistant mice and or very heavy conehead streamers. The two rods we chose for the job are the 690 NRX Plus and the 788 SwimFly. 690 we figure is going to be a great dry line rod, so put an aggressive taper line on there to move the air-resistant mouse, and it'll have enough power in the butt section, but it'll still have a little bit of delicacy to get under the trees, into the little spots between the rocks on the bank. And that's how we've been presenting the mouse, is pretty much as close to the bank as you can. If you can hit that little soft water pocket, let it drag into the current, likely there will be a rainbow trout underneath it. And then the deeper pools, we've been using very heavy cone-headed streamers, trying to get as deep as you can, as quick as you can. So the SwimFly is great for that. It has a very stiff tip, allows you to lift a lot of weight. It's purpose-built for lifting big flies and putting them back down quickly. It's not made to be your beautiful parking lot caster. It has a very, very stiff tip, an extended stiff tip section. And then towards the mid, it softens up a bit, gives you that flex to develop a loop, and then locks back up towards the butt section. So that allows you to bend the rod deep as you're doing the lift. You have a lot of tip to aerialize the cast, and then plenty of butt section to send a heavy line and a heavy fly to your destination. We're quite proud of those rods and I've enjoyed fishing them on this trip. Well, I think what I've really liked about the 690 is it's a very applicable rod on most trout streams. You can throw a hopper dropper with it, you can throw a big nymph rig with it, throw a small streamer with it. So it's applicable in most of your standard trout streams. When you come to the Mecca of Alaska and you want a little more heavy duty mouse throwing big fish rod, it works. And it hasn't really held us back in any aspect of throwing the mouse. So that might be the shining star. The SwimFly is fun because it's a little bit of a different taper, not your run-of-the-mill rod, but to have a rod that you can use back home and come up here to the hardcore heavy dutiness up, have a rod that holds up to both, that's pretty sweet. The name of the game has been accuracy. We have definitely noticed if you don't land the fly close enough to the bank, the fish isn't going to chase. So as you're dodging rocks and moving in and out of the current, you end up having a 10-foot shot, maybe an 8-foot shot, and then you can also end up having a 30-foot shot to get your fly on the bank, depending on the river conditions. Well, having the tip be so accessible on the 690 in close, not a lot of fly line out, and still being able to make an accurate presentation has been great. Ease of accessibility in the front end, and then power in the bottom end. And we've kind of been fishing varying depths all day. This is a bouldery river. We've had to slide in and out. You can't just hold a straight line at the same distance from the bank. And the 690 is stiff enough to mend and handle big long mends, but you know, like we talked about, you can still make your 10-foot shot to the bank with a mouse and make it accurately.
Would you come back to Alaska?
Yeah, I'd come back. This place has been crazy. We've been like shaking off 16 inchers, and we hooked a big fish earlier, and it jumped out of the water 6 times in 30 seconds. They're charged up, and they pull pretty good, giving us some excitement and shaking some hooks as well. We've been put through the ringer, but it's been a fun time, and I would definitely come back. Max is about to be hooked up again behind us. This place is heaven.